Hi guys, we're just gonna do a quick sit down, frequently asked questions sort of video pertaining to excessive gear. Why do I carry so many knives? Why do I carry so much stuff on me? What am I, a hardware store? Excessive. Oh, and by the way, we're just enjoying a fire brought by my dad. So you could enjoy the fire if your state or city is spare the air city or thing, like almost year round, like where we live. I didn't start this fire, but pretty much burning the wood in our backyard that my dad picks up from his jobs is sort of a house chore for me, just to burn the wood. So yeah, I get a kind of kick-ass chore around the house to start a fire and just burn some wood. But this wasn't started by me. And all that smoke, for some reason, he's cleaning off the insulation on the outside of wires. Don't ask me why, take that up with him. I had nothing to do with that. I came home. So, excessive gear. Now, excessive gear and something excessive, something's too big, too small, too heavy, too light, ugly, pretty, awesome, lame. I'm pretty sure we could all agree on that's very subjective. It's all to your perception, your likes, your personality, and your tastes. Um, if you're someone that if you're someone that likes to EDC Delica, or say a dragonfly, or even a ladybug, manbug, or some other very lightweight knife, you gotta realize that me being a person that prefers 3 to 4 inch main blade on average, it could be a little bit smaller, like the Tenacious I'm EDCing right now, or it could be larger, which some larger knives I'm thinking of getting. It could go below or above that, but excessive gear, I mean, you could see how my main knife, sort of say if I'm carrying a Recon 1 or something like that, you could see how, or the ZT 561 or something like that, you could see how that's going to weigh more than your Delica, and say you got a Maritac AAA or AA flashlight. You can see how that's going to equal, like, both of those. Oh, toxic smoke. But you could see how basically we're not going to see eye to eye in terms of choices of gear and weight and EDC setups. Although we love gear and everything like that, we all have our personal preferences, whether it be you're carrying a large knife for self-defense or just general utility. I don't carry for self-defense because I wouldn't want to have to use a blade in self-defense, because then that's going to make your life a living hell for the next few months with all the legal aspects. But whatchamacallit, sorry, I was interrupted really quick. Someone came to the door. However, it's all about personal preference. So, again, I've responded to people in the comments saying, why do you carry like 5, 6, 4, or 5 knives on you at a time? Because those are things I'm carrying. I'm comfortable with it. It's not obtrusive to me. Sure, maybe I could do without the open all. It kind of gets annoying every now and then, but to me, I don't really feel it aside from every now and then. It doesn't really bother me, and I like the way it looks. I mean, sometimes that knife's persuaded a couple people that weren't into knives. They seen the different spectrum knives, where say from like a nice, crazy looking tactical knife to some like a Recon 1 to something like a Skyline to the Open L number 8, and seeing what I did to it, the little modifications I did to it by staining the handle and so forth. It gives people, it's also sort of like a talk piece too at the same time. It persuades non-knife people into seeing the different faces of knives and the different uses that they could be performed in, and how we don't all have to carry Cold Steel Raja 2s. We don't have to carry a 6-inch blade in our pocket. You could carry a little Again, you could carry a little ladybug or man bug that's got a sub 2 inch knife. You could carry the cat or the squeak. Comes in pink, colorful. Yes, you don't have to have all black, large blade, strongest lock that you could stand on. That'll chop meat in half. That's hanging from a rope. We don't all need that, and that's not what most people are looking for. But again, back to the main statement. It doesn't really bother me. I wear a belt. I had the flashlight on the belt. The belt. I mean, the flashlight is like as heavy as like probably like three of those knives together. I can't really feel the knives, but I do feel the flashlight, especially when wearing basketball shorts. That's in my pocket. That's the main thing that's dragging me down. If I don't have that on, if I don't have that in there, my iPhone 4 is the next thing that's weighing so much. So I'm not really too worried about that. I'm not looking for a sub 4 ounce EDC knife. It's just not. It just doesn't bother me that much. Maybe if I was someone that only wears shorts, and again, I wear pants for the most part year round. I don't really go swimming, so again, I don't really need that small knife. But if I did go swimming, I would get a Spyderco Pacific Salt, which is Enduro size. Because again, I prefer the larger blade. But to answer the question again, just to reiterate, excessive gear, maybe to you, but not to me. It doesn't bother me. Maybe it might bother you. Yeah, I could see how it might bother some people. I mean, there's some people that want to keep their EDC as small and light as can be. There's other people that don't mind carrying a full size 1911 and say a large cold steel and like a big old flashlight, like a Maglite or something. There's people that don't care about that, and I'm one of those people that doesn't care about weight as much. If I like it and if it suits my uses and I feel comfortable with it, then I'm happy with it. I get used to it. It doesn't really. It's not weighing down my pockets because again, I wear a belt. If I wasn't wearing a belt, or if I was wearing slacks, I'd probably switch over to something smaller. Like again, I'd probably go with for work. If say a work knife, strictly like engaging with customers rather than say warehouse work or something like that, I'd probably maybe bump it down from 3.5 inches to maybe about closer to 3 inches, like with the Buck Vantage, and two knives, and then my flashlight, because there's not really much that I'm gonna really run into in the workplace. I mean, it's pretty much there. I mean, light powers went out at work at a previous job I had before, so light comes in handy. Knife, yeah. Maybe you get a shipment in, and they don't want to use the box cutter that has like a half-inch showing a blade. Let them use your second knife. I mean, that's good to go. And then you have your multi-tool for whatever comes in, and that's my setup. That's good for me to go. And then, again, then I have my keychain set up. So that's pretty much, it's just like a revolving thing. I mean, you could refer to, like, say, the Urban Preppers tiers, EDC tiered system, or now he's doing the circle system. You could do on that. So like you have your things on your person, then you could also have backup. So like on your keys, you could have your keychain, of course, the light and the mini multi-tools on there as you've seen. Then have a main blade and another multi-tool. Redundancy. I mean, pretty much we all know, you've more than likely heard it, 2 is 1, 1 is none. I mean, so I mean, I've had times if I didn't have that multi-tool on my keychain, I couldn't have did my job. I couldn't have cut mono, or I couldn't have tied up some line or something like that. Just basically me having that, even though it didn't have the blade on it, because I left my full size Leatherman, the Sidekick, at home. It's helped me out. So I mean, redundancy is great, and it worked for me. Some people may beg to differ. Your mileage may vary. That's again personal preference, personal opinion. I'm just one of those people that it doesn't matter to me how much something weighs. If it's good for me, it's good for me, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go and complain about it. I'm just gonna carry it because it works for me. And again, like I said, I'm testing stuff so you guys can know what it is. And if I'm doing all one work on one blade, I mean, there's sometimes that I get to hand over a blade to someone else and be like, "How does this work for you? How does it feel?" "Oh, it feels good," or "I don't like this part on it. It digs into my hand." I get a second person's opinion on that. I get to see what someone else might think of. So, and then I would incorporate that into my video. So, basically, multiple things, more opportunities in my book. And more opportunities and more versatility, more utility. That's all good for me. And in the end, it's about utility and getting the job done for me. So if it gets the job done for me and it doesn't bother me, so be it. I'm not carrying around a cold steel machete on my hip like their 13 or 18-inch Kukri or the Gladius. So it's not very obtrusive to me. It doesn't matter to me at all. And the only time the Opinel comes into play is when I'm sitting down for a really long time, because I have it right next to the wallet. But other than that, that was just a quick sit down, just explaining excessive gear, why I carry it, what's wrong with me, why do I carry a hardware store in my pockets, why am I a walking hardware store, why can I help you out and pull out a hammer out of my left front pocket if I need to, which I don't carry, but you get the idea. But that's why it doesn't bother me, and it comes in handy when I do need them. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Have a good day, guys.